We were looking at exchange rate terminology. We started off talking about nominal exchange rate, nominal appreciation, and nominal depreciation. Then we moved on to the real exchange, which we said is the relative price of goods of two countries. And then we said the text defines the real exchange rate as price of domestic goods relative to foreign goods. Now we want to see what do we mean by real appreciation and real depreciation. Now, a real depreciation means an increase in the price of domestic goods relative to foreign goods. Now, given a definition of the real exchange rate, which is the price of domestic goods relative to foreign goods, an increase in our real exchange rate, which we indicate by epsilon, here there should have been an epsilon, an increase in the real exchange rate indicates a real appreciation. Because we can obviously also define real exchange rate as price of foreign goods relative to domestic goods. In that case, a real appreciation would be a decrease in epsilon. But the way we define real exchange rate, a real appreciation is a increase in epsilon. So regardless of how you define the real exchange rate, a real appreciation means an increase in the price of domestic goods relative to foreign goods. Then depending upon how you define it, if we define it as price of domestic goods relative to foreign goods, then an increase in the real exchange rate indicates a real appreciation. If the real exchange rate between the US, the domestic country, and UK, the foreign country, increases by 10%, so given our definition of the real exchange rate, this tells us that the price of US goods have increased 10% relative to foreign goods. So US goods are now 10% more expensive relative to UK goods than they were before. Now, the real depreciation is the exact opposite. Regardless of how we define it, it is a decrease in the price of domestic goods relative to foreign goods. Given our definition of the real exchange rate, that is, it's the price of domestic goods relative to foreign goods. So a real depreciation corresponds to a decrease in the real exchange rate epsilon. Now, just keep in mind, regardless of how you define it, a real appreciation is an increase in price of domestic goods relative to foreign goods, and a real depreciation is a decrease in price of domestic goods relative to foreign goods. Given how we define it, a real appreciation corresponds to an increase in the real exchange rate. A real depreciation corresponds to a decrease in the real exchange rate. So this is only given our definition that it is the price of domestic goods relative to foreign goods.